You know that feeling when you're sitting in class trying to focus on the lecture, but all you can think about is how you're going to pay rent next month? Or how your bank account has, like, $43 in it, and you've still got 2 weeks until your next paycheck from that part-time job that's slowly draining your soul? Yeah, I've been there. And here's the thing, most students think they have 2 options: either work themselves to death at some minimum wage job, or just stay broke. But what if I told you there's actually a third option that nobody talks about? My name is Nolan, and I spend way too much time thinking about how students can actually make real money without sacrificing their education or their sanity. Look, if you're someone who's stressed about student loans piling up, who's tired of choosing between textbooks and groceries, or who's just sick of watching everyone else seemingly figure out how to make money online while you're stuck working double shifts at Starbucks, this video is for you. And if this helps you at all, make sure to subscribe and smash that like button, because we're about to break down exactly how I made $10,000 while being a full-time student. Not clickbait. Real numbers. Real strategies. So let's do some quick math that's gonna make you angry. The average student working a part-time job makes about $12 to $15 an hour. Let's be generous and say 15. To make $10,000 at that rate, you'd need to work 666 hours. That's about 16 full weeks of working 40 hours a week. Except you're a student. You can't work 40 hours a week. You've got classes, assignments, exams, and if you're lucky, maybe a social life. So realistically, you're working maybe 15 to 20 hours a week. At that rate, it would take you an entire year, maybe longer, to make $10,000. And that's assuming you don't spend any of it, which, come on. We both know you need to eat. Here's what most people don't realize. The traditional student job model is designed to keep you broke. It's not your fault. The system literally pays you the minimum amount legally possible for your time. And it takes your most valuable resource, your hours, and converts them into the least amount of money. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what's the alternative? I need money now. I get it. Trust me. But here's where it gets really interesting. When I was in my second year of college, I had this moment where I realized something that completely changed everything. I was trading time for money in the worst possible way. Look, the reason most students stay broke isn't because they're lazy or because they don't work hard enough. It's because they're playing the wrong game entirely. They're stuck in what I call the hourly trap, where your income has a hard ceiling based on how many hours you can physically work. So I made a decision. Instead of asking, how can I work more hours? I started asking, how can I make more money per hour of work? Completely different question, completely different results. Here's the breakdown of how I actually made that $10,000, and more importantly, the psychological shifts that made it possible. Strategy has shown. Skill arbitrage. Made $4,200. This is what most people miss. You already have skills that other people will pay for. You just don't realize it yet. I was decent at graphic design, nothing crazy. Just knew my way around Canva and Photoshop from making presentation slides and club posters. So I started offering logo design and social media graphics on Fiverr. Started at $25 per logo. Took me about 2 hours per logo at first. That's $12.50 an hour. Terrible, right? But here's the thing. I got faster. By my 10th logo, I could do it in 45 minutes. By my 20th, 30 minutes. Suddenly, I was making $50 an hour. Did the same thing with tutoring. I was good at statistics. So I started tutoring other students at $40 an hour. 2 students, 2 hours each per week. That's $320 a month. Doesn't sound like much until you realize that's $3,840 a year for just 8 hours of work per month. The math here is crucial. I made $4,200 from freelancing and tutoring over about 7 months, average of $600 per month. And it took me maybe 20 to 25 hours per month total once I got efficient. Strategy #2. Digital products. Made $3,100. This is where it gets really interesting. I created a study guide for the hardest class in my major. Spent about 20 hours making it really comprehensive practice problems, explanations, exam tips, the whole thing. Sold it for $15. First semester, I sold 47 copies to classmates and people online. That's $705. But here's the beautiful part. It's a digital product. I made it once, sold it multiple times. Second semester, sold 62 more copies. Third semester, another 53. Total, over 200 copies. That's over $3,000 for 20 hours of initial work. The psychological shift here? Stop trading time for money directly. Create something once, sell it repeatedly. Your time becomes leveraged. Strategy #3. Flipping textbooks and tech. Made $2,700. Okay, this one requires a little bit of upfront cash. But hear me out. At the end of every semester, students are desperate to sell their textbooks. I'd buy them for cheap, like 30 to 40% of the retail price, then sell them at the beginning of next semester for 70 to 80% of retail. Bought a calculus textbook for $40. Sold it for $90. That's $50 profit. Did this with probably 15 to 20 textbooks per semester. Also did the same thing with tech-bought used laptops, iPads, and phones from graduating seniors for cheap, cleaned them up, and resold them on Facebook Marketplace. This made me about $2,700 over the year. The key? Timing and knowing your market. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't have any skills, or I don't have money to invest in flipping stuff, or this sounds like too much work on top of school. Look, I'm going to be real with you. This isn't a magic solution where money just falls into your lap. But here's what it is. It's strategic. It's working smarter, not just harder. When I was working at that retail job, I was making maybe $800 a month for 60 hours of work. That's $13.33 an hour, and I was exhausted all the time. My grades were suffering. I had no social life. When I switched to this approach, I was making an average of $850 a month for about 40 hours of work total. Better money, fewer hours, and most importantly, I controlled my schedule. I could work at 2 a.m. if I wanted. I could take a week off during finals. I couldn't do that at a regular job. The psychology here is crucial. You need to value your time differently. Your time isn't worth $12 an hour. Your time is worth whatever you can make it worth by being strategic about how you use it. And about not having skills? That's just fear talking. You don't need to be an expert. You need to be 10% better than someone who knows nothing. That student struggling in calculus doesn't need a PhD to tutor them. They need someone who just passed the class and remembers what it's like to not understand it. Here's what this is really about. It's not just about making $10,000. It's about fundamentally changing your relationship with money and work. Most students graduate with debt, no savings, and no idea how to make money outside of a traditional job. They spent 4 years in the hourly trap, and they carry that mindset into their careers. They think the only way to make more money is to work more hours or get a raise from a boss. But when you learn to make money like this through skills, leverage, and strategy, you develop something way more valuable than $10,000. You develop the ability to create income on demand. That skill is worth millions over your lifetime. A recent study from the National Center for Education Statistics found that 70% of college students work while in school, but less than 5% are doing any kind of freelancing or entrepreneurial work. Why? Because nobody teaches them that it's an option. The average student graduates with about $30,000 in debt. Imagine if instead of just surviving through college, you actually built income streams that continued after graduation, or that helped you graduate with less debt, or that taught you skills that employers actually value. So here's exactly what you should do after watching this video. Step 1. Audit your skills. Write down every single thing you're decent at. Design, writing, math, coding, video editing, social media, photography, whatever. Don't dismiss anything. Step 2. Pick one skill and create a simple offer. Tutoring, charge $30 to $50 an hour. Design, logos for $25. Writing, blog posts for $50. Just start. Step 3. Tell 10 people about it. Not thousands. 10. Classmates, friends, family, online groups. Just get your first client. Step 4. Deliver amazing work. Ask for a testimonial and use that to get client number 2. Step 5. Once you're making consistent money from that, add a digital product. Study guide, template, checklist, something you can create once and sell repeatedly. And look, the textbook flipping thing? Only do that if you've got a few $100s you can afford to have tied up for a few weeks. Don't go into debt to do this. But if you've got birthday money or money saved up, it's a genuinely solid strategy. The thing is, you're going to graduate eventually, and you can either graduate broke, stressed, and stuck in the hourly trap, or you can graduate with money in the bank, skills that actually matter, and the confidence that you can create income whenever you need it. I made $10,000 while in school. You can too. It's not about being special or lucky. It's about being strategic and willing to think differently than everyone else. If this video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe, because I make videos like this every week, breaking down exactly how to build wealth, even when you're starting from zero. And hey, in 6 months, when you've made your first few $1,000s, come back and leave a comment. I want to hear about it. Now get out there and make it happen.